When my father's hand had brushed over the paper, I used to wonder about what had influenced his drawings, what gave him inspiration. He used to show me drawings of a city, pointing out where the mage had built a wall or designed a tower. I know none of it is real, but what if it is? 5 years after her father's death, Mara Danarko believes everything is going great. Her mother has a wonderful boyfriend, Bryce, and Mara is getting used to small-town life. Her world is turned upside down when she comes home one day to find Bryce trying to kill them and an old family friend mysteriously appearing out of nowhere. Injured, Mara passes out only to wake up with a strange new power called. She has to learn how to harness it before she hurts someone by accident. However, not everyone wants her to master her newfound power. Will she be able to control her source in time to keep it from being used against herself and those she cares about? Alright. Danarko, which is the first book in the Danarko Saga, is a... well, I want to call it epic high fantasy, but it's not really high fantasy. I mean, we've got elves and fae and things like that, but it's more science fantasy, I guess, because the whole source of their magic, the source, is a biochemical agent. Anyways, it's a book in the fantasy genre, definitely on the epic side of things, where a girl is basically transported to a different world and told this is where she comes from, and she discovers she's got powers like everyone else in this world, and how she has to control them, and people don't want that to happen. Yeah. So there's a lot that goes into this world, and I can't even begin to explain all of it because the world itself is very intricate and very well designed. There's a language that you see on occasion, which, you know, warms my linguistic heart. There's different ways to use the magic. There's different kingdoms and realms and ways that it flows together, and you get to see this world as we learn it from Mara's eyes, kind of like fantastically. It's pretty cool. I like the world building a lot. As far as the plot goes, there's also a lot going on there. I mean, wow. Okay. I don't even know where to start with the plot. It's kind of a novel of discovery, not necessarily self-discovery, although that's in there too, but like discovering plots and discovering schemes and worlds and new deadly things that are trying to attack you, and it's fascinating to see how Mara adapts to all the different situations while still doing what it is that she loves and figuring out how to like navigate this world. It's very intricate and very fascinating, and I liked it quite a lot. I will say that it doesn't seem to have an end goal until about halfway through the novel. The first half of the novel is mostly her discovering the world and figuring out her place in the world and what she needs to do to actually like get involved in the world. And so you don't see a lot of, okay, we're leading up to something. It's more, we're figuring out the world, which is fine. But when you get to that halfway point and you realize that it is leading up to something, you kind of wish that it had been referenced a little bit more before. Granted, that's just me. I liked both parts of it. I even liked the way that it fit together, but I just wanted a little bit more direction at the beginning once I learned the second half of the book. So, retrospective? Yeah. So as far as the characters go, Mara is a great main character to follow. She's spunky, she's snarky, she has no problem with figuring things out her own way. But she also cares a lot about her friends, and I like that a lot. The other characters feel a little bit less developed. I mean, we see them a lot, and we get to see them interact with Mara a lot, but their personalities feel a little bit less rounded. They feel more like secondary characters as opposed to characters, people that we happen to meet who are their own person, if that makes sense. And I get the feeling that there's going to be more development in the next book, but I can't quite tell tell who is going to be the focus of the next book, because the ending of book 1 was really dramatic. Like super, super dramatic. Like the plot that I was talking about earlier, that you were kind of like, yeah, I wish there were a little bit more, you know, direction, and we're leading up to something and whatnot. At the end of book 1, you're like, oh, okay, we're going this way. And it's, wow, yeah, that's a thing. Anyways, I enjoyed it. It was very dramatic, and yeah. Right. Anyways, my main critique about this novel has nothing to do with the characters or the plot or the world. It's to do with grammar. Now, this book is written in third-person present tense. Third-person limited present tense, let me say. Which is fine. I have no problem with that. I read past tense, I read present tense, I read, well, yeah, let's stick with those two, because the others, it gets complicated. But if you're doing present tense, you still have to note that there will be other tenses used. It's not continuous present tense. You have to talk about past events with the different past tenses and make sure that those are right. And there were a couple of instances where it was wrong, and there were enough of those instances that I noticed it, and it kind of pulled me out of the story in a major way. Now, granted, I'm far more aware of grammatical uses like that than most people because of my linguistics background and whatnot. So your average person isn't going to notice it the way that I do, but I definitely noticed it, and that is my only real critique for this book, is that it just needed one more pass with a grammar check. But yeah, otherwise I did enjoy it. I thought it was entertaining. I thought it was interesting. It was fun. You know, I didn't feel like a chess match was being played inside my head. It was more like, it was kind of like a mini-series, a television mini-series with all that was going on, and I thought that was very nice, and I liked it. Yeah, I imagine book 2 is going to be equally dramatic, or even more so, because the end of book 1 was like, ooh, wow. Anyways, if you are interested in this book, as usual, all the links are in the description box below. You can find it there. I also have an interview with the author I did a while back. I shall be sure to link as well. My links are there too. I got the final installment of my series. It showed up. It's very exciting. Yeah. Anyways, have a great day, and I shall see you next time. Bye.